Alright, let's go over the Templar of the Vindicator variety. Let's start with the promotion class itself here. We get a big whopping 200 attack power plus 400 health. We get to use a great sword, which you know we were already kind of starting with, but that's fine. Enhancements. Holy Warrior now increases holy damage and movement speed in combat. It's like our buff that boosts our health, and it can be used to cleanse CC. So even though it's a buff, I would generally use this to cleanse the CC and then be happy with the buff you get, but we get some in combat movement speed. That's good. Judgment, that is our execute without a cooldown, is now reduced to 1 pip, so this guy is great at executing things. The Divine Light, that's our AoE, deals increased damage, and it applies damage over time, a holy damage over time, but it only heals myself instead of my friends as well. Then we've got Holy Shout, which is very straightforward. It's just a stun, no, not even a stun, it's a knockdown around me, hits 5 people. And it gives us pips as well. We have the Inner Fire passive. Now this is a little bit of a tricky one, because it modifies slashing damage bonus by the value of the fire damage bonus. And whenever we gain a pip, we radiate fire damage around us. So this opens up a lot of build opportunities that I haven't really taken advantage of right now. We just went with standard human majors, but there is some shenanigans to do with this for sure. Just by getting some fire damage on gear, that kind of scales up as well. It'll be kind of intricate to see how that builds. I just took it in here to see how the fire damage interacts like around us, but it opens up a lot of possibilities. And then the passive cap here, you get a fire bonus, damage cap, and slashing bonus, and some crit damage in there. Didn't take any of the domains. And let's go back to the way we have built this whole tree. Obviously, you start out with Holy War and Righteous Stand. Right now, I didn't put the Righteous Stand on the bar. I'm just using a dodge instead of the parry. The Holy Warrior itself, yeah, we went over this a little bit on the promotion class, but it's a buff and cleanses ourselves from CC. Passive node cluster in here. It's another passive in there. We didn't take the things down there. Judgment, that is the big thing here. That is the execute. 35%. It starts executing and deals more damage and has a 100% crit modifier on there. Up here, another passive stat cluster. Then we have our Divine Light down here, which is the AoE that now applies a damage over time as well. This is such a good skill. It also gives us pips. Congregation, that is the pool that we have, 20-meter range. Down here we have the Reproach 3-part combo that has a AoE, a knockdown, and a group buff with a healing modifier of 25%. And down here we have taken Divine Intervention. That means we get a 15% damage bonus when we drop below 50% health. It also heals us a little bit, and while it is active, it will apply Damnation, which is a holy damage over time to our targets. Divine Power down here, whenever we CC or heal, we get a 10% damage bonus. We build this one as a DPS, obviously. The Censure in here is just the leap forward. This is a very straightforward build, not the best way to build this. I'm pretty sure Vindicator is really strong. This is a bit of a basic build, but it's good for a showcase, I think. All right, so how does this play? Well, we have I forgot about the majors here. We have Freedom Fighter in here for free action and Purify. Free action makes us immune to CC for 9 seconds. It's huge. Runecaster applies a 2000 resist all a barrier and a small passive with 100% attack power buff in there. Really good ones. The miners, well, our bar is kind of full, so we just took some passives in here. Increases attack power when we suffer a knockdown or stun. Increased auto attack damage and a little bit of a cleave action on our auto attacks as well with the Spirit Whip in there. So, alright. Well, we get to jump in with our jump. if we manage to hit that, it will actually stun things too and generate some pips. I kind of overshot it there, but that's fine. As we get in the team, we have the option of applying some free action, so we can't get CC'd for 9 seconds, and that is important because we have some skills that are a 3-part combo, so that is easy to interrupt, right? That's why free action is so big. This is their auto attack to just generate some pips, and the execute or the root is also a 2-part combo. So you want to be popping your free action before you start using those abilities. It's just very important to not have those things be cancelled out. All right, let's go over the abilities a little more. The reproach, we just showed it, has a 2-part option. So that is either the Radiant Sweep. It has some nice AoE on there, and that is a knockdown, pretty solid. Kind of auto attack to get some pips up. Or it has the Righteous Smash, good AoE too, and gives us the healing buff on the team. Number 3 is our Execute. Like I said, it has no cooldown, right? You could spam the Execute. When somebody is low and you can get to stick on them, you just get to execute until they die or get healed up. But yeah, it just costs some pips, but it's only one. Great finisher. Second part of this is Subjugate, which is just a snare. So if somebody is low, you kind of want to snare them first and then just start whacking them with the executes. Pretty awesome. Now the best spell of the Templar is up on number 4. That's this one right here. Bomb. Puts down a field of AoE. It damages. Puts a damage over time. It heals and it also generates pips. Every time we generate a pip, we also radiate some fire damage around us, which is not very high right now. But like I said, you could itemize for that. Make that pretty solid. Number 5 is our Holy Shout. So let's just use a pip, because why not? And when we Holy Shout, we stun everything around us. Bomb, deal some damage, and it generates pips, right? So if you're in the middle of a team, that just fills up your entire bar. Number 6 is our Shout that pulls people in. Can't really show them on the dummies, but that's fine. Our number 7 is the Holy Warrior. It gives us a buff, but most importantly, you can use that to break CCs. A long cooldown, right? So you want to time that properly and use that to break a CC, and then take advantage of the buff that it gives. Number 8 is our human starting skill, like the racial trait bonus, which it's called the Candle That Burns. It makes us do increased damage at the cost of more cost to our powers. Because we are a pip class, like it doesn't increase your pips, but yeah, like you can't increase the usage by like 5%, right? That doesn't make sense. So what it does instead is it increases your cooldowns. So we have 5% longer cooldowns when we use it, but we do get 10% more damage. Overall, that's a DPS gain. Then we've got the Purify in here from free action. Not very cool to look at, but it removes Black Mantle Frostbite, pulsing damage auras, Damnation and Disease, plus it boosts our physical resist by 1000. Kind of important as well as a melee guy. Free action, like I said, is just CC immunity. Well, I say just, it is very powerful to have this on you before you engage. And our last ability on the bar is the Runic Sanctuary, which gives us a 2000 all resist buff. So when you get into a team or when you're defending a spot, plop this bad boy down for a lot of mitigation bonus. So like I said, kind of a straightforward build. He just kind of gets in there, whacks people, applies some CC, or he's the engager with the shout to pull people in and then follow up with the stun. Very solid. You get to lock somebody down, root them, or even knock them down, and then you kind of just start executing. When you get into the middle of a group, this thing does pretty damn good AoE. As you can see, all these effects. Look, the numbers are low because we don't have any gear, but a lot of AoE, a lot of damage is gonna be very good. And then yeah, you get to jump around a little bit. Kind of a long cooldown on your jump. That's why we didn't go with the parrying, but we still have some dodges in here. I think main focus of this guy is hitting those executes, right? 0 cooldown execute. Somebody gets low. You chuck a Vindicator on somebody. They're just gonna die. Kinda straightforward. The nice thing is as well that the root is on the same key there. Then we have our ultimate here, which gives us 2 pips. It increases our max life bonus, stuns enemies nearby, and a little bit of a heal. As all the other ults, it also cleanses CCs and gives us a damage reduction buff. That is about it for the old Vindicator over here, the Execute monster.